Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, January the 27th market update. On the economic front, we had the FOMC announcement. Of course, they left rates unchanged. No big surprise there. There wasn't a whole lot of wording change either. There was not a big move in the market at all after the statement was released, so it's kind of a benign effect. Had its usual quick little choppiness right afterwards, but then we leveled out and actually finished positive. So U.S. new home sales were down 7.6% for December. Again, didn't have really any impact on the home building stocks. The home builders actually ended positive on the day, at least a few of them that I checked, like RYL and Lennar LEN. And the weekly petroleum status report showed a drawdown of 3.9 million barrels and an increase in gasoline inventories by 2 million. And oil finished down on the day. So tonight we're going to have President Obama's State of the Union address, and on deck for tomorrow we will have durable goods orders, weekly jobless claims, and nat gas report. And I think Friday is the GDP numbers. So on the earnings, we do have, Qualcomm did beat. They were light on revenue though, and I think their guidance wasn't all that great. Norfolk Southern missed, and I believe Netflix announced. I hadn't had a chance to check it out yet, but it was up about 14% after hours, so it must have been pretty good. And then, of course, all eyes will be on Amazon as they report tomorrow, AMZN. The dollar was up, gold, silver, and oil were all down. Copper took a huge beating today, down about 4%. And we're looking at the UUP, the dollar ETF. Been talking about all this buying in here. And we took out the previous high here of 23.21. Today we went up to the 23.26. We'll continue to monitor the dollar. This will probably continue to add pressure to commodities, along with the kind of pullback in lending there in China. Commodities have been getting beat pretty good here this week. Light sweet crude futures were down another $1 for today to settle at $73.67. Take a look at the point and figure chart on West Texas Intermediate crude. And I talked about coming down to this bullish trend line around the 72. We'll continue to monitor that, see if we stay there. Again, we'll have to take out the prior column of O's to go on a sell signal on oil, which means we need to print 69 to go on a sell signal. Let's take a look at the Dow chart. Dow closed up 41 points to 10,236. S&P closed up 5 points to 1,097. The Nasdaq closed up 17 points to 2,221. And the Russell closed up 6 points to 618. The Russell had the largest percent gain, up 1.02%. The Dow was the weakest, up 0.41%. So we're still kind of stuck. We're still stuck here sideways. We bounced off this 10,100 area here, the midpoint of a large candle, which is often can be a support area. Plus, we had some other previous resistance here at this 10,100 on the Dow. So we're holding there. MACD is really, we were so oversold. It looks pretty awful. Let's look at the S&P. It's trying to hold this 1090 here, and we've also got this trend line, this uptrend line here on the S&P 500. So far we're holding that area, but the MACD seems to be going lower. It's lower here than it was here, which is usually not a good sign. So market's been pretty weak actually, and I think the only reason we're holding up as well as we are is because we're so oversold. Look at gold. Gold, more sideways action, down in 1%, but mostly sideways. Silver's been really weak. Another one of these MACD is, much lower than it has been. Not looking too great. And the VIX was down 5.74% today. MACD's real high. Continue to monitor the VIX. So some of the volatility has definitely come out over the last couple of days. We did, obviously, we had some late day buying today, which is typically bullish. But what we'll be watching for is we'll be watching for what the Fed effect, or whatever you want to call it. Typically on Fed announcement days, If we sell off that day, then we go up the next day. And like today we went up, so we may sell off tomorrow. So I don't know if that will be the case this time, but if you kind of go back and look, it's not unusual that we kind of have a, counter trend of the day before after the Fed announcement. So we'll be watching that. Of course, all the political noise and stuff's all Washington and Tim Geithner and all that stuff. What a mess. I don't know why anybody would want to have any of those jobs after what they go through. And of course, we're still in oversold condition. Talking about that, the sectors, 12 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The bank index was up the most at 2.91%, and the gold index was the weakest, down 0.97%. Here's a quick look there at the sectors. We'll go ahead and take a look at some charts, even though the market hasn't been too great for trading. Pega, nice big breakout on Pega today. It was my stock of the month for January at InvestSharp. Looks good. I like Amgen here, just breaking out of that symmetrical triangle we've been watching with lots of volume. It looks good. This Regions Financial is right at a support area, so you might want to keep an eye on that if the banks do continue to get a little bit of a bid here. We've been watching Fleur Systems right around that support area of $30.50, so watch for a breakdown or a break higher on that one. Still watching the shipper, Navios Maritime. It's trying to hold up there, but market's working against it. Not today so much, but it has been. BLC, BLO, still looks good. Another financial looks pretty good. Genworth Financial, got a nice ascending triangle. McDonald's still not looking too bad, still looks good. Assurant still in this channel. A lot of these we're still watching just because there's really not a lot of new stuff out there to find. Decker's still holding up around that 100. Aetna, nice little triangle here. Watch for it to either hold this 30 area or break down. The MACD is actually on its way down, so it may actually break down, so it might be a good short. Watch that one. And City Trends, we've been watching this one. Come on. My chart is hung up. There we go. City Trends. Nice big. Took a long time to build this triangle. Still holding up pretty well. Cat had a breakdown, so you might want to actually watch it. And if it actually gets a pop back up here to this 55 or so area, you might want to short it. Depends on if the market's strong or weak that day. EV. Another one that's been pretty strong. Right there at this trend line support, if it breaks down below this 30.50, you could probably short it, or it may get a bounce here. And of course, I kind of pretty much now, I really like cash a lot right now. Option spreads are still okay. If you manage your own IRA, you might want to consider either buying some SDS, double leverage, ultra short S&P, or if you don't want to go double leverage, you could buy the DOG, which is short the Dow. Just might add some of that just for a little protection in your IRA. And over to the InvestSharp website. Of course, we've been watching the point and figure chart, watching these market signals. The Dow, Nasdaq still on a sell signal. The Dow actually the bearish price objective actually was lowered today from 9,650 down to 9,550. So that's really it for today. We'll just keep taking it day by day. A lot of politics stuff out there. And then with China, the concerns global. Industrials took a pretty big hit today. So, this chart looks pretty nasty on the Nasdaq, even though we are getting a little bit of a bounce. And let's look at and same here with the Dow. We've had this triple bottom breakdown right there, so looks pretty nasty too. That's it for today. Don't overtrade. Be careful. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest sharp.